Larry Brown. 2:35 remaining in the third. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Another look back at the Jordan years, that emotional first championship in 91, 1992, the Bulls knocking off Portland in Chicago for a second title, and then a third straight, defeating Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. That 1993 NBA championship squad. A host of familiar names and a host of changes have been made. As you can see, that group no longer with the Bulls. Only Armstrong, Pippen, and Perdue remain, along with Michael Jordan. Revamped franchise. When you look back at last year, it was truly amazing the job that Phil Jackson and the Bulls did. That's a 24-second violation. Chicago finishing a surprising 55-27, second in the Central. Only 2 games back in that first season without Michael Jordan. They were 3rd overall in the East, and then in the playoffs they swept Cleveland, and in the Eastern Conference semifinals lost in a grueling series to the Knicks in 7 games. Kukoc trying to shake off Mitchell. Draws the foul. Sam Mitchell picking up his second personal. And Indiana last year with a 47-35 record. A strong finish, and they did the job in the playoffs. They swept Orlando in the first round, beat Atlanta in 6, and they went to 7 against the Knicks. Jordan firing the 3. And a loose ball foul is called again against Mitchell.
Well, once Michael gets familiar with the new three-point line, I'm sure he's going to be a much better three-point shooter. If you remember, a couple years in their career, he worked hard in the offseason, came back, improved his three-point shooting, but he is still suffering from the rust, and the shooting is suffering most right now.
Jordan is now 4 for 15. Myers posting up on Fleming. Kukoc with the fake. Shot clock at 8. Jordan for Kukoc. Yes! Michael Jordan with the feed for Tony Kukoc to bring the Bulls within 9. 1:35 left in the third quarter. Kukoc on the steal. Try to save it. Lands in the Chicago front court, but handled by Fleming.
Well, Michael was zigging when he probably should have been zagging, but that pass thrown behind him to spoil a chance for a Chicago fast break and a thunderous Jordan finish.
Fleming has been getting the playing time, coming on as a third guard, very much into the rotation. Here's Jordan spinning his way, getting it up for Pippen, and he draws the foul.
Well, the last 2 times Michael Jordan has had the ball in the offensive end, he has become a penetrator. He is, in fact, the point guard right now. Being guarded by Byron Scott, beats him on the penetration, finds Tony Kukoc coming in along the baseline. Excellent penetration, drawing the defense, and Michael knows that he is drawing it and can find open people as Scottie Pippen able to get to the free throw line.
I'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching Charlotte and Utah. Charlotte with a 100-92 lead in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. Here at Market Square, it's the Pacers 71 and the Bulls 61 with less than a minute to go in the third. Marv Albert with Matt Kukoc, Ahmad Rashad, Bob Costas, Michael Jordan to this point. 4 of 15, 11 points, 3 assists.
Chicago in a 2-for-1 situation with 40 seconds to go in this third quarter. Look for a quick shot coming.
Kukoc spinning his way. And back comes McKee. Now to 25 seconds to go in the third.
Well, they got the quick shot, but not a good one.
Off the track foul call. Pippen and Myers fighting on Scott, and Pippen is called for the foul, his second. Bulls are over the limit, so Byron Scott to the line. Byron Scott, after 10 years with the LA Lakers, signed as a free agent with Indiana last December. Member of 3 Laker championship teams.
Haywood Workman about to check into the ball game. He has a Band-Aid over his right eye now. He had one on the left side of his face before. When he first came out on the floor, he had it on the back of his head. I don't know if this is some kind of superstition or whatever.
Just a cut that is moving around. And Haywood is back. Haywood Workman, a major surprise last year after spending time with Atlanta and Washington. He was able to do the job without having true point guard skills. Very tough player. And a good player defensively. And that's what Larry Brown appreciated last year. But Mark Jackson is back as the starting point guard. They double up on Jordan. Time running out. Here in the third. Jordan played by Fleming. Down to 5 seconds. Now they double up. Here's Jordan slicing his way. Setting up Wennington. 1 8 seconds to go in the third as Workman. And that's the end of the third quarter with the Pacers 73 and the Bulls 63.
Byron Scott not wanting to let Vern Fleming face Jordan one-on-one, comes out but overruns the play, leaving another wide open lane for Michael to get in there, draw the defense, and get the easy one for Bill Wennington.
So Michael Jordan setting up Bill Wennington to conclude matters here in the third. Coming up in a moment. Well, our staff here at NBC Sports, Matt, just getting younger and younger. It's our youth movement. How about number 23? That's out of date these days. Michael opting to wear his baseball uniform number 45. Certainly thinking of marketing possibilities down the road. Michael in action with number 45 and making the transition back to the basketball court. Fourth quarter underway. Pacers 73 and the Bulls 63. It's some 21 months after Michael Jordan's last appearance in an NBA game. Michael opening up this fourth quarter guarding Vern Fleming. Antonio Davis. And last touch by the Bulls. But meanwhile, despite the fact that this has not been an effective game for the Bulls, they are hanging around, down by only 10 as this fourth quarter gets started.
Mainly because their defense was much more aggressive in the third quarter. They shot the ball better, but the reason why they're still down 10 is the 6 turnovers that they had in that third quarter.
And the whistle away from the ball is against Indiana. Byron Scott called for the offensive foul. At one point, Indiana led by as many as 18. Pacers with a good shooting third quarter, 8 for 10 overall in the third.
Michael there setting up Steve Kerr coming off a stagger, but good defense by the Pacers, shut it off, and a nice move inside by big Luke Longley.
8-point Indiana lead. Reggie Miller getting set to check back in. Fleming and Scott on the backcourt. Smits playing with 4 fouls up front with McKee and Antonio Davis. Not a good shot by Smits. Here's Jordan putting the move on.
And Michael looking over to the official on the baseline, trying to figure out why he didn't get a foul call there. He initiated the contact into Smits.
Smits. Well, Rick Smits extends to a 10-point Pacer lead.
He is just so comfortable facing the basket from about 15 to 18 feet out front, and really prefers that left box where he wheels across the middle for a little rolling hook.
Lee intended for Kerr. Fleming for Davis. Smits off the ball fake, and a hand check being indicated by Dick Bavetta.
Well, Michael Jordan spots a little lane here, knows he's in trouble with the 7'4" Smits, but shoved that right hip into Smits, looking for the call. Not really complaining loudly, but you could tell he felt he got bumped on this play. One more look at it as Michael just shoved the little hip into Smits, which did follow the shot.
And at the other end, Longley is called for the